Alright, so the Eternity page on the Mabinogi Korea website has been updated. So there's a lot of new posts, and we're going to look at this one first. So, Aaron long-term repair plan. So today I would like to explain the various processes for importing Mabinogi's 3D resources into Unreal Engine. In general, commercial engines, resources created with 3D tools are imported through a format called FBX. The Pleon engine uses its own extension called PMG. Therefore, in order to import already created 3D resources into Unreal Engine, a tool to convert the extension was needed. Thanks to quick development of the tools, porting each region went very smoothly. So it looks like they've already ported like all these regions into the game, but they still have to go over them, edit them, and make them look good. Like add all the movement permissions and stuff. So we were able to quickly port all areas in Erin to Unreal Engine. Of course, it would be nice if it ended here, but it would be difficult to say that the porting was complete simply by importing it. So yeah, they have to like add all the movement permissions and stuff. And here you can see them importing like resources from the logging camp in this picture. This is like the Gold Isle. Since detailed materials were not expressed in Pleon, it was also necessary to set each material anew to suit the Unreal environment. So like this is the road in Dumbarton. And I think this is what it looks like with the Unreal thing. That looks really good if that's in Unreal Engine. Things that were made so long ago that their form itself needs to be renewed may need to be replaced by making something completely new. I imagine they'll have to do a lot of that for like the insides of buildings and stuff, especially since like the insides of a lot of buildings are like 2D and look really crappy when you actually move the camera angle around in there. But here we can actually finally get like a good view of Dumbarton. So you can see how they changed like the entrance to Dumbarton here, and this looks really good. And also you can see like this board here, but it doesn't have like anything on it where there'd usually be images. So it mostly looks like they're done with Dumbarton, but only after going through this process can you complete the background resources that fit the engine environment. Fortunately, all regions were quickly imported using the porting tool. It was pointless to transplant the costumes and hair in their basic form. The framework and wires themselves are lacking to provide natural movement. This is because the skin of the hands and feet also had to be replaced. Because there were many parts that were difficult to meet Eternity's standards, it was in a state where it could only be brought in after some processing had been completed from the beginning. First, rather than taking the basic form as is, we proceed with modeling work to process it to meet Eternity's standards. In particular, we add more wires so that not only the hands and skin, but also the clothes and hair can move naturally. Once the modeling is completed, a framework for natural movement is planted. If you make various settings so that the skeleton can move well. Okay, here's a video. Let's see that. Yeah, that looks really good. Of course, things with simple porting processes can be ported efficiently using automation tools. So here's like some weapons. As the final resource production is completed after going through such a variety of processes, the efficiency of the overall process is very important, as there is a lot of work to be done. We are building a solid foundation so that we can build on it without collapsing. So we saw this in the Korean fantasy party. They're like changing outfits and showing how like the hair and the outfits move. So this looks really good. I like the way this turned out, and it kind of shows us that... like Dumbarton is in progress right now, and it's getting a lot better. You can kind of see like here how the shingles don't look very good right here. But they look really good, like, in this image on the right. Like, look how much more detail they have now. The flow of time. So this is going to explain how time is going to flow in the Unreal Engine update. And this is a very long post, so I'm not going to read all of this information. I'm just going to read, like, some of the important parts. And we'll look at the pictures in the videos. If you think about the flow of time changes during the day, morning sunlight, noon, sunset, and moonlight in the night sky. The movement of light and the changing shadows are probably the first things that come to mind. As time passes, the position of light moves and the shape of shadows changes. So you can see that in this moving picture here, but for some reason the page is kind of loading this image slow, so I just opened it in a new tab, and you can see it right here. So like as time passes, the shadows are like moving and changing. So light movement and shadow movement changes. And here on the left we have the Turconale Bank in Pleon Engine, and on the right we have it in Unreal. So you can see how like the shadows are moving and changing shape, and how like the lighting is changing, and you can see like the clouds moving in the sky there. Yeah, these videos don't want to load on this page for some reason. Hopefully anyone else that looks at this will have better luck than I'm having. But it seems to be working better if I just open these videos in a new tab. And here we can see like the shadows of like the lights and the windmill and the building like moving as time passes. And here you can see how like the sky is changing over the windmill. So this is like the day going by. And this art looks really good. And again, this isn't final. It says not final right here and right here. So this is really cool. You can see like... you can see time passing in the game. You can see the clouds moving. So this is what it's gonna look like in Turconail when the Unreal update comes out. And that looks really amazing. And here we can see like the shadows move, like the shadows of the fence here. So we can see that the shadows are starting to become more visible and show. And then they're slowly moving. As time passes, like the sun is moving, the shadows are moving the opposite direction. And then this will show us rain. So they also showed this during the fantasy party in Korea. So you can see the rain, and you can see how the wood is darker because it's wet. And you can see the raindrops like soaking into the wood. That looks really good. And you can see like how the roof looks a little bit darker like here. Because it's like wet, and so is the stone to the building. So the rain effect looks really cool too. So yeah, this is gonna be how like time will pass differently. This is all about like how time will pass differently in Unreal 5, and how like weather effects like rain will look. So this is a pretty long post, and maybe that's why some of these things are having some trouble loading. But I would recommend taking a look at it. When you think of Mabinogi, isn't it about dying? So this is all about the new dying system that they're working on. So let's start right down here. We'll watch this video real quick. And you can see like all the outfits and the, you know, like the wig, the boots. And you can like see their colors. And so far I like this new dyeing window. I think this looks really good. This is a screen in development. The UI configuration, operation, design, and details may change when Eternity is updated. The basic menu UI is a temporary version at the time of dying system development. Please look forward to the UI section in the next season's post. So I'm assuming the next season's post will probably be in December, because that's when they posted information last December too. But yeah, I am looking forward to reading their UI changes. So enter dyeing mode. When you dye your hair and don't get the color you want, using the dye ample, select the target from the list and dye it to the desired color. I'm sure you've had the experience of repeating the same process multiple times. At this time, you have to look at the same window several times and repeat the same actions over and over again. I was thinking, wouldn't it be convenient if I could just go straight to the dyeing process? Since we're already at it, we're improving it so that we can go straight into the unique mode where we can dye our hair. Wouldn't it be even better if, while dyeing one item, you could select another item and start dyeing it right away? Yeah, that would be pretty convenient. The list of dyeable items on the left includes not only equipment you are wearing, but also you can select all the dyeable items you have in your inventory. For example, you can sort by selecting only wig items or only shoe items. We are working on further improvements to provide a variety of filtering features. Everyone thought hard about the new clothes and dyed them with care in each dyeing pot. There must have been a moment where you felt something was a little lacking. Once you enter dyeing mode, you don't have to close and reopen the dyeing screen multiple times. Yeah, that would be really nice to not have to do that all the time. Divided the desired color into parts and pour the color in advance. We took great care to ensure that you could see what color combinations would look like. However, just like before, with one dyeing operation, I'm thinking of a direction where one item can only be dyed in one part. It's not that I haven't considered dyeing multiple items or multiple parts at once, but in that case, what is the item consumed and what is the color before and after dyeing? Because it was anticipated that the guidance on how it had changed would become too complicated. So, dyeing result information window. While we're on the subject, I also tried to make the results of the dyeing window look better. So you can see like the old dyeing window that we have right here after dyeing something on the left, and on the right you can see the new one. So yeah, that looks a lot better. I believe I'm not the only one who has always been bothered by the global line breaks in the results window. This is an issue with the results window that is used not only for dyeing but also many other systems. Improvements to this part will be detailed in the next post. First, I thought about how to improve readability in the dyeing results window. Which item part changed from its original color to what color before and after dyeing. I've improved it to show it more clearly with the color code value. At first, of course, only RGB code was shown. Some newcomers to the Eternity project have expressed the opinion that hex code is easier to understand. When I compared it to my previous experience with Mabinogi, I thought that RGB alone would be sufficient. For new militians who are new to Mabinogi after the Eternity update, I thought that the hex code would be easier to recognize and memorize. So, dye color palette. So here's what that looks like right here. First of all, the colors that were unique to Mabinogi that I originally used were distorted. There was some concern about whether the messy, tangled appearance of the palette should be maintained. Like other games, you could have just chosen to present all colors in the form of a smooth, natural color wheel. Our color palette did not include all colors. Some were hesitant to take that path for various reasons, as it was only available in limited quantities in the area. So, by utilizing the 40,000 colors provided in the existing palette, I just wanted a version where those colors were arranged a little better and more naturally. And you can see like some pictures of that right here. There is a huge difference between the way humans perceive color to be natural and the way computers understand color ordering. There was a gap between the Torii Canyon and the Sanctuary of Avalon that was so difficult to bridge. No matter what method I used, I couldn't automatically list a pretty color spectrum. Eventually, at some point, someone had to manually tweak the results. I considered splitting the palette into 2 parts, but I wanted to avoid adding extra depth when dyeing. Looking at the dye palette, I kept wondering throughout the development period, where on earth did the satisfaction I felt when dyeing my hair come from? A. Select 1 or more colors from the color palette. This is the so-called physical area. B. Repeat until the desired color is dyed by breaking the 1 out of 5 probability, realm of fighting the odds. Here's the area of A. It was very difficult to choose the desired color from the confusing color palette. In the area of B, there is still means to successfully dye directly through dyeing, but requires a separate cost. So yeah, this is the first post on the Korean Eternity site about the new dyeing system that they are working on. And there's also a part 2, so we'll go over that as well. So when you think about Mabinogi, isn't it about dyeing part 2? In the second installment of Dye, new additions are made in Eternity. I would like to introduce in more detail the parts that have been improved and supplemented from the existing ones. So material palette. Oh, that's really cool. So you can see like how the palette is changing like with each tab that they click on. Mabinogi had a variety of color palettes including cloth, metal, leather, and silk. Depending on the item, there is a setting that says this part of the costume uses a metal palette. There were often situations where we had no choice but to dye some items with limited colors. In Mabinogi, the charm of dyeing your hair with a variety of colors is revealed. We judged that there would be little need to maintain restrictions in this area. We improved the dyeability of all dyeable items so that you can now choose one palette among the cloth, metal, leather, and silk palettes to dye. There are cases where multiple color tables are matched to the same palette. For example, even if it is the same metal palette, there are several types. Click on the desired material palette to see the materials that belong to that palette. I've included one of every existing palette to alternate between. So palette enlargement, this is pretty cool. So you can see how this is the palette zoomed out, like right here. Right here the palette zoomed out, and then like it zooms in. So it's easier to select the colors that you want when you're like zoomed into it. And here's another improvement to the dye palette. In the past, there were many times when it was difficult and uncomfortable to select colors at pixel by pixel levels. Hold down the control key while hovering over the palette with your cursor, and it enlarges so you can see it better. Yeah, that's really cool. Let's go and watch this real quick. Okay, so they're showing off like all the different dye tabs and the colors. Yeah, nice. Added various conveniences. Every militian has his or her own color preference. Since the color of choice, once decided, does not change easily, the colors that are frequently used when dyeing are decided upon. To reduce the hassle of having to choose these frequently used colors from the palette every time you dye a new piece of clothing, we've added a new feature to make it easier to automatically select a color by registering it as a favorite once you've chosen it. That's nice. Additionally, dyeing is sometimes used to apply special colors that do not exist in the color palette. When you enter dyeing mode, you can check the dyes you currently have in your inventory and apply them right away. Additionally, when listing the stains, the colors are arranged in order from dark to light. For those who are new to dyeing in Mabinogi, the two most confusing points are, first, you have to choose the color yourself from a somewhat confusing looking dye palette. Second, there is a process in which 5 candidate colors are selected, one of which is randomly selected and dyed. Choosing a color is not easy, and I was very concerned about the current situation where the color I chose with great effort was not confirmed to be dyed. Like other games, it has a natural color wheel. We also considered providing all colors and a process for easily picking and dyeing the colors. However, when reflecting on it, many people said that it was not a dye that was truly Mabinogi-like. As difficult as it is to dye an item, I decided that there is definitely joy in developing my own individuality with more affection. Instead, you can use a regular dye and choose one color of your choice. We decided to provide an additional method to ensure definitive dyeing. Select a color other than the desired color among the 5 colors selected. I tried adding the ability to exclude from the result color and set this process to require a different resource. We are considering the optimal solution to prevent items with the same function, such as existing direct dyeing ampoules, from losing their jobs. Other things to consider. In addition to the general functions I have mentioned so far, we are developing to reflect the following additional elements. Dyeing zone. Setting the light source, such as natural light outside and inside at different times of day. A dedicated dyeing space where you can preset environmental elements such as black, all white backgrounds, chroma key backgrounds, etc. Mannequins of different genders and races. Ability to dye items of different races and genders while freely checking the results using preset mannequin elements. I want to gift an item to a friend in a color that matches their preference, but it was so hard because I couldn't try it on every time I dyed it. Now I'm in the process of setting up an environment where I can dye it by putting it on a mannequin instead. Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea if you could like use a mannequin item to put clothing items on and like try dyeing it using that method instead. Like if you're trying to dye something for a friend but you're not the right gender or the right race to wear the outfit, that'd be a good way to preview it. Eternity offers the experience of playing Mabinogi today. Numerous convenience improvements are being made while maintaining the best possible experience. For militians who will one day take their first steps into eternity, this is an environment where they may experience too many changes at once, no matter how good the change in direction may be. There will be a fair amount of confusion for a while, which may not necessarily be a good thing for the gameplay experience. Yeah, that is true. There is a huge problem with Mabinogi is there's so much content in the game already that, like, if everything changes, it's gonna take a while for new players to adjust. So to help those of you who'll reach the destination called Eternity adapt quickly, as an example, the improvements related to the dying system above were reflected first. We plan to present similar attempts in more fields in the future. Of course, in the process, it may work differently from the original intention. You may notice some shortcomings that we haven't noticed yet. We will even take that part into consideration and try to fully reflect the opinions for improvement. We may show you a more improved version in the finished version of Eternity, or if possible, on the official servers. So yeah, overall this post is really good, and it looks like they are still looking to the players for feedback, which is good. I think they're making the right call being really open with the player base. Like, they're paying attention to like what we're saying, which is definitely a good thing. And I do get it, like, this is going to be a drastic change, right? Mabinogi has so many systems that when we change to Eternity, it's going to feel like a completely different game. Like, that's just how it's going to be. So it is going to be a big adjustment for everyone, but overall I think it's going to be for the best. Like, if we want this game to live another 20 years, like, this update needs to happen. And it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be some people that are angry about it, of course. There are going to be a few long-term Mabinogi players that have probably been around for, you know, 15, 20 years. Some of them are probably going to be pissed off. But this still needs to happen. And that's just the reality. Like, with an update on this scale, it's impossible to do everything perfectly. There's always going to be something. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to their next post, which will probably be in December, I'm assuming. But that's it for the changes that they're making to the dying system. Alright, we're starting off this stream slightly differently. I'm on Xanafiedlion for a quick second. I didn't actually realize that the entrance to the houses are different. Like, this is a Philia-style house, and this is the front door, I guess. It looks different than the house some of my other characters have. Different looking window, too, which looks kind of cool. But anyway, the main reason I'm here is I want to get an invitation to this homestead. Because I have, like, a few characters on this account with herb gardens. So, I'm going to take that homestead invitation that Xanafiedlion just got. Where'd that go off to? Oh, here we go. And we can put this in the bank or a pet inventory. So let's pick something simple like this pet. And we'll put that in here, and then I can go to this homestead with Xanafiedlion and then mark it down as a favorite homestead. And then I'll have access to more herbs. So that's why I'm doing this real quick. Alright, really quick, I'm going to switch back to Xanafiedlion. Alright, and then the invitation should be right in here. And now I can use this to get to Neko's homestead. And we can add this to my favorites list. I'm going to start an herb garden with Xanafiedlion as well. That is a plan. But I have to level up his homestead a little bit more before I can do that. Now let's go to my homestead. Right, I gotta get these homestead stones. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll just do homestead work right away. I'm really behind on doing this. I think once I get to level 14, we'll reach the maximum size that we can get without the coupons. Without the expansion coupons. Which you can also buy from the auction house. You don't have to use NX to purchase those if you don't want to. Players can buy them and sell them for gold. So that's always an option. Let's clean out any expired crap. So what kind of homestead seeds do I have? We have those poinsettias and the rose hips. Alright, that's good. Let's do some bounty hunting to get up to level 60, and then we can do a Baltame mission, Nowhere to Run, and we can get to level 6, we can get to level 200. Then I can use the Forgetful Potion that I have to get back down to level 1 again. And then we'll do the Veteran Dungeon after that. The other reason I want to hunt down bandits and bounty hunting is because I'll also get to farm their homestead piles for each one that we visit. So we're gonna go to Aquila and start pursuing a bandit or an outlaw. Do I have all my points on Zippy? I don't think I do. We got 2 points on Zippy, so we're gonna pursue him first, and if he's not available, we'll go after Nelson. Okay, so we're just gonna bounce from mana tunnel to mana tunnel until we find bandits. That's usually the way I do this. And maybe there are no bandits out here this time. I usually go about as far as this tree for this one. So let's try here next. And for this one I usually run to about where that destroyed building is. So now we have bandits. Oh right, that guy's helping me. There's the Homestead Pass. And let's summon these guys to pick everything up. No Zippy, but that's alright. We're here for their Homestead Stone. Oh, yeah, and these guys too. And this is another reason why I'm here, because I need more Homestead Stone. So back to Quilla, and then we'll pick another target. I pick Quilla to always jump over to because it's pretty close to a bounty hunting board. To the wanted board. Like if I went to Philia at the Nature Reserve, Mana Tunnel, or the Philia one, the wanted board would be a little bit further away. I don't think the wanted board in Vales is anywhere near any of the Mana Tunnels. Even the one in Core is a little bit further away than the one in Quilla. So it just makes more sense to do the Quilla one. Hey, nice! Bandits right away this time. Any passes? Nope. That's alright. Now let's use one of these silver bounty hunting cards again. I'm not gonna be able to just go to another mana tunnel right away because it takes a while for the game to recognize that you're out of combat, so I might as well run out to this tree. Hey, more bandits! Look at that. And there's the Outlaw Homestead Pass. No Zippy yet. But getting the points on Zippy is just a bonus, honestly. I'm mostly here just for like the levels up and the Homestead Stone, because I need that. So that's the major things I want. Oh, and sometimes the reward chest has homestead seeds in it, or other useful materials you can use. Let's see, we can use that. It's not the fastest way to level up, but I need the homestead stone anyway, so might as well do it this way. Hey, that time we got a Zippy. There he is. He's not very strong, though. Oh, cool, we got a point on him. I would have had a higher chance of getting a point on him with the Dreamcatcher, too, but... yeah, 2 points to go, I think. Yeah. Oh, cool. And I guess the Arcana thing leveled up. What level is that? 37? Nice. We can probably get that to like level 38 or 39 today. Probably level 39. Cabbage seeds. That's good too, I guess. And the big prize, the Homestead Stone. So it's going to be a little while before Zippy appears on the board again. I think it takes like 30 minutes to an hour, something like that. The wiki would probably have the exact time. So we're gonna go after Nelson next, since I also need points on him. Yeah, because I got a homestead invitation to Xanafiedlion's homestead, then now I added it to my favorites, and I can go to those two homesteads anytime I want. This is another character's homestead that I don't stream with. I've had her for a really long time, and she has a pretty big herb garden. Alright, Nelson, you're next. Wait, how did I get to level 123? When did that happen? We were level 47 a minute ago. Maybe it's because I took down Zippy and he's worth more being a direct outlaw? I didn't even realize that because I wasn't expecting the amount of levels up to be like that much. And we also have that 10,500 bounty pouch for catching him. Okay, I guess we'll jump into the Baltane mission after this then. And then we'll push for level 200. And let's see what's in here. Eggplant. These chests don't drop homestead seed every time. They can also drop building stone and like paint, other things you can use, but I'm glad it's been dropping a lot of homestead seed because I actually need those to level up my homestead. Let's go ahead and put this up here, pull this out, put this over here. We're done with our bounty hunting. Alright, I need to get my hands on a nowhere to run pass. So the chance of getting that is kind of random on any day that isn't Friday for VIP players, so random items. We have a pretty high chance of it drawing at least one. Alchemic power potions, that's a new thing they've added in. Here we go, Baltaine selection pass, nowhere to run. Any chance I got more than one of those? Yes. Let's go ahead and take another one. We'll take 2 in total. And clean all that up. Let's stack all that together. Okay, Baltaine Crystal. Let's get to Avalon Gate. And for this, I'm just going to be using magic. We'll just be spamming Fireball the entire time. That'll work just fine. This stall bag to pick up gold, this one to pick up gems because the zombies do drop gems from time to time. And this XP pot. Oh wait, do I already have a potion for that kind of thing active? I didn't realize that I did. Oh, okay. That'll probably last long enough. I didn't realize I had one of those active already. Nowhere to run. Elite. Let's go. Alright, and that's level 200. So let's quickly grab anything that might be of value here. Where's that sapphire at? Let's get that. Oh, I got that gem, that's good. Gold potions. I think that's everything. Alright, let's leave. And forgetful potion to reset our level. Broken Guardian's Blade. Okay, I thought that would be worth more. I guess not. Let's go ahead and sell this piece of crap. And this as well. Make a little gold. And let's get out of here. And let's focus on a little homestead work. Plant that. Plant that. We have 2 tomato seeds? Nice. We can plant one more thing right there. And next we're going to do the veteran dungeon. So let's go find out what that's going to be. As long as it's not Piaka dungeon, then I'll run it. So far, Arsenal Gunner is my second favorite Arcana, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm also a huge Dark Diviner fan. Rundle dungeon for the veteran one. Right now we are level 38 Arsenal Gunner, and we'll probably be a level 39 by the end of the day. Yeah, for Arsenal Gunner, what really helps is having like a spirit weapon, because having that... Having this ultimate really helps, because when you run out of ammo, your guns just instantly reload. But so far I'm really enjoying the Arcana talent, and I'm using a combination of my normal gun skills too. It encourages you to use the old gun skills that you have as well. I think it's really good. Gonna try to get the Forbidden Alchemist unlocked maybe sometime this week and try that out, but I'm not a big Alchemist fan, so I'll probably still like Arsenal Gunner more.
뭐야 이 편지는?
What kind of dungeon do we have here? Fairy dungeon. Okay, we can do that. Well, it's cool that they're actually listening, though, and making changes to it. So if, like, they're making changes to it next month in like, Korea, then it'll probably be a while before it changes over here. Probably sometime in early 2026. But I'm glad they're fixing it. They did a good job fixing Elemental Night. Oh, I'm still mad that I have to buy my dungeon passes now. I missed the unrestricted dungeon passes. 50k. Alright, I'll take that. So let's do Rundle Dungeon first. That's actually one of my favorite dungeons. I can probably handle it solo, but if anyone wants to tag along, they're free to do so. Wait, which one was the veteran dungeon? Oh wait, Rundle is the veteran one. Sorry about that pass for nothing. Yeah, sure. I'm on channel 4. I need to take a second to gear up anyway. Let's see. So, dual guns, and I'm still gonna use my staff because Meteor still kicks ass. And let's see, where's that pass at? There it is. I do like keeping my status effects open for this one, because it tells me how long that Gunner's Crest is gonna last. And finally, time for the boss. Let's go and get this ready. Let's get these skeletons out of here. One skeleton left. Nice. 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Yeah, but I like the Arsenal Gunner Arcana. It's a lot of fun. And I don't even have it maxed out yet. Like, there's still the crests to do and 11 more levels. I'm at level 39 now. But let's go up to level 200. So I'm gonna do Nowhere to Run again, because I still have a pass for that. And a Baltane Crystal. Did that XP pot wear off yet? I think it did. Yeah, so we'll use one of those, and I'm gonna switch to Mage. I would say that I like Arsenal Gunner and Dark Diviner equally, just in different ways. Like, there's a lot of things that Dark Diviner is still very useful for, and there's like a lot of advantages to like both Arcana, so I like them both for different reasons and different content. Pick up gold, pick up gems, and Baltane mission, Nowhere to Run, Elite. And there's the pass. Oh, and I forgot to equip my... Well, I do have my staff here, so I guess that kind of works out. This pet buff will also give us a little bit of an XP boost too, so we'll use that. Nice, I actually got Arsenal Gunner to level 40. I was kind of wait a minute. Yeah, level 40. I was kind of uncertain if I would actually make it to level 40 on that today, but we did it. So 10 more levels to go. Okay, let's get rid of all these guys. I don't think I have too many crests. I only have one of the crests unlocked for Arsenal Gunner, like, right now. But yeah, it makes sense that the prices went way up. I'll check what the prices are. If they're too high, I don't mind waiting. It's not super urgent. The levels are more important for now. And the price is usually about 10k per thread, I think. So yeah, that would be a little bit higher at 25k. Ooh, that blade fragment, I can probably sell that. Let's go ahead and grab that. That's nice. Any gems on the ground that my doll bag didn't get? No, I think we're good. Alright, we can get out of here. What, for the smoldering threads? I mean, the frost flame threads were much more expensive, but the smoldering threads have always been pretty cheap. Or like 800 gold. Really? They got that low? I don't know if I've ever seen smoldering thread as low as 800 gold, but it has been a while since I've actively been looking through the auction house and actually buying them. So I need to do some spirit weapon work now, actually. We got a lot of gems. Let's go ahead and give all those. Like, how much are smoldering threads? Oh yeah, 25k a piece. And actually 28k, 29k, so yeah, they are going up a little bit more and more. Well, that's okay, I'll just wait for the prices to go low and buy a bunch then. Gonna make a lot of gold when that bunny gacha comes around. I think that's gonna be on January 1st. So maybe I'll look into getting some for in like January or something. Level 40, so 2 skills at rank 3 and the rest of them at rank 4. That's not too bad, considering this came out like, what, last week? Oh, I know this could go in my me inventory, probably because it's a spirit weapon. That's cool. Where's that blade fragment thing that I found? That should be in here somewhere. Here we go. That sells for 100k gold. Not gonna use it as a direct bank transaction though, because that's actually a ripoff. They're trying to take 14k of my gold. Forget that. Okay, well, levels up. Those are pointless right now. I can't rebirth until probably like Thursday sometime. So maybe I'll do homestead work for now. I do need to do that. I also need to finish getting my medicine talent to the Grandmaster level. I was kind of working on that, and then I got really distracted by how awesome Arsenal Gunner is. Let's see where that's at. So it is at the Master rank. I have a couple of the seals. Alright, yeah, let's go do that. We'll do Grandmaster tests. Because I do want to try out Forbidden Alchemist, even if it is bad. At the very least, leveling up that Arcana will probably be good for my stats or something. And what do we have here? 30 Wound Remedy 10 potions, Sunlight Herbs, and Antidote potions. 20 Antidote potions. Okay. We can do all that, probably. Let's start with the Sunlight Herb one. And even though Xanafiedlion does not have an herb garden yet, I have two other characters that do have herb gardens, so we'll use Xanafied Neko's homestead for this. You gather herbs, right? No, sharing materials, herbs, box. So we'll pull this guy out. Wait, not authorized. I thought I made all these patches gatherable by anyone. I'll have to double check that one. Don't know how that herb patch got missed. Wait, not authorized for that one. So is this entire row not authorized? No, just the first three. I'm gonna check all of them. let's try here. And oops, not that one. This one. Let's check my other herb patches, make sure. Okay, you can gather from that one, you can gather from that one. That one works, that one works. That one works, that one works. That one works, that one works. So is that one, so is that one. That one, and that one, okay. What about my gold herbs? Did we make sure all these work? Yeah, I think it's just those 3 patches of sunlight herbs I just somehow missed. Because all of this other stuff looks like it's working good. Okay, I'm going to assume those are the only herb patches that are broken. Or that I just didn't change the permissions on. So really quick, I'm going to switch to Xanafied Neko, so I'll be right back. And I'm going to take care of that now, because if I don't, then who knows when I'll get around to it. Okay, let's go ahead and fix those herb patches. Okay, so the favorites homestead list isn't shared among characters. That makes sense. Just wanted to check. I do like this multi-selection mode. This was really helpful when I was changing the permissions for herb patches to anyone. I even realized that was I didn't even realize like what this mode fully was until I used it like a day or two ago. Alright, so now that one should be fine. Those 3 should be fine. Wait, do I have pets on an expedition still? No? Okay. And we're gonna switch back to Xanafiedlion. So 20 antidote potions and 30 wound remedy 10. So we're gonna need the potion kit. I wonder if I'm gonna need some antidote herbs for that. So potion kit. Wound Remedy 10. Oh, do I need more base herbs? I think I need 20 of those, don't I? Or no, wait, we're making 30 of those. Yeah, we need more base herbs, so we'll go back to Neko's homestead and get some base herbs too. I always grow like 3 rows of base herbs and then 2 rows of every other, because base herbs are pretty much used in everything, so you're always going to need a lot of them. Just makes sense to have more of them. I think that might be enough. Probably is. Potion making. Yeah, we need 30 of them. Okay, that covers those. And then we also need the antidote potions. So let's see what we need to make. Yeah, antidote herbs, which I don't have any of. We can just do some rafting and get some points to buy antidote herbs. Like, that's kind of the plan for that. Let's go to my homestead, though, the Lion Oasis. And let's see. Did they ever add antidote herbs as something you can plant? I don't think they did, but it doesn't hurt to check. Because it's been a long time since I've actually looked at this list. Poison, mandrake, white herb. Okay. So no antidote herbs yet. I don't know why that's the only herb that they left out. I would really like it if they added antidote herbs to the list. Mostly just because I want like an herb garden that has every type of herb in the game. Just to kind of complete it. I'm not gonna buy any, but I'm curious how much antidote herbs actually go for, since they're probably the most difficult to get. $45K for a stack of 30? That's not too bad, actually. 1,500 per herb. But it's been a long time since I've done rafting. I probably haven't ever done it on this character. Well, maybe I did for the saga stuff. Oh, I wonder how Arsenal Gunner would do for rafting. Probably not well. But let's try that out. Let's find out. At the very least, I'm curious. I'll equip my staff, too, as like a backup weapon. And then if it turns out to be really bad, then we can just switch over here to our magic skills and use those. But yeah, you can buy antidote herbs with your star points. So that's always an option. And you have to be in a party even if you're doing rafting solo. Why not get the daily quest, right? We're gonna be out here anyway, might as well. Okay, we can use the heavy artillery skill. We can't use bullet barrage. We can't do this. I guess the raft counts as a mount, so we can't use calamity cannon. We can't use fatal scope. I don't know how good the range is on these dual guns. I'm kind of disappointed we can't use bullet barrage. Okay, well, a lot will depend on the dual gun's range and how effective all that turns out to be, so we're gonna find out what we can do here. It's actually not that bad. But they're out of range? Really? Okay. But no, the better choice is just magic skills. In the end. I can't use Spellwalk here? Okay. Forgot about that. I think it's Mirage Missile, the archery skill that I'm thinking of. Like, that's by far the best thing for rafting, hot air balloon stuff, and airship commerce. That exclusive archery skill to elves. But that's not really an option as a giant, so... Fireball is probably the next best choice. But Mirage Missile is broken because it's not limited by range. Even if the enemy's out of range and the attack itself only does 1 damage, it poisons the enemy, and that's the part that gets them. And that's what makes it so effective for, like, rafting and airship stuff. Was that daily done? Yeah. I can't get those guys up there? Well, at least I can get you. Nice. That one gonna jump? Well, that one is. And we don't want to stop at that dock. Okay, I guess you can't use the interaction key to do that. To activate the steering. I wonder what they're going to do for rafting Unreal. I don't think that's one of the features they would remove. I hope not. Be nice to see rafting get an update. See if we can get those guys over there. And to this side. There, that's not too bad. And we don't want to stop there, so we're gonna move over to this side. think those guys are still gonna be out of range. Hey, you moved close enough. Nice. Those guys are gonna jump, at least one of them is. Oh, we got him. And then over here. That guy's gonna be the first one in range. There. 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 This side. Getting near the end, but there should be a few more. Let's get these guys and go over to this side. Nice. That might have been the last of the enemies. So we have 115 stars, and antidote herbs cost 3 stars each. Well, for 5 actually. So it is really easy to get antidote herbs this way, but I still wish we could plant these on our homesteads. So 38 stacks of 5. We have 190 antidote herbs now. That's nice. With 1 star left over, which I do not care about. And antidote potions. Oh, we need water. Okay. How many bottles do I have? Do I even have bottles for that? I think I have like some of them stacked somewhere. No idea. We'll find out in a second. Get this out here. Wait, I need to have a bottle equipped. Let's use the, oh wait, here they are, 45. I was about to use the search function. Wait, was that the first success? There we go. Where's all that water ending up in here? Oh, here we go. So we have 7 of those. I think I'm gonna need like 20. Okay, and that's done. So now we can go turn in these Grandmaster quests. Put this back over here. So that's 3 more seals. And we can get the last seal we need from this box. Oh, am I out of those golden certificates and brass certificates? I don't think I have any of those on this character. Let's see what we can do about that. Any in the bank? I don't think so, but it's worth a look. What appearance scroll is that? Lightning sword, okay. No, I don't think I have. Wait, these are... These are titles from like the free run stuff. Right here. And I will be right back while I check other characters. I may have like some brass or gold certificates on other characters, but I'm not sure. Won't know until I look. And as luck would have it, I did find some brass certificates on one of my characters. And also Merry Yuletide and Happy New Year posts. Starting on December 18th, so this Thursday. Go to the Dumbarton Church to register a character. Yeah, I think they mentioned this in the live stream where they showed off the Arcana. So you can get some nice homestead items for this one-handed blunt weapon. The Santa beard as a face wear. Wait, is this the same snow globe that was given out last time from that crappy snowball event that no one liked? I think that might be the same item. It doesn't say new. Well, these don't say new either. And all the other stuff you can get from the boxes. Oh, this is kind of a cool gesture card. And gesture cards are fun because some NPCs can use them too. So you can use them with like transformations and stuff. Hang on. Let's look at their news from like a year ago. Oh, I mean to go all the way back to 2017. Okay, not that far back. Page 6, where's that? October 2025. July. June. March, February. Okay, December. Here we go, the snowball event from December 17th, 2024. Open that in a new tab, and then let's go to this page. I want to compare the two snow globes and see if they're the same homestead item. Oh wait, well, maybe this one's actually a chair item this time, instead of being a homestead item. Maybe that's the difference. Yep, it looks the same to me. So wait, was this Christmas snow globe a... Maybe it was just a chair item, actually, when it released. But let's take a look. Yeah, it's the exact same homestead item, and nobody really liked the snowball event as far as I remember. It was a... And this was a rare random reward from the RNG box. But this one you can actually just directly get with event points or event currency. Whatever we're using. Secret vault coins. Okay, so it's nighttime, so I can use those brass certificates now. I actually have to go to a bank, because that hasn't refreshed yet. Because without those, I'd have to pay 1 million gold. But why do that if I don't have to? Okay, we'll pull those and put them... Let's put them... How about right up here? That'll be fine. I'm not actually... Well, there'll be a few skills available, so maybe we'll test out some of the Forbidden Alchemist things, but we'll just mostly start the story today. Get that introduction story done. Alright, now we can do it. Let's change this back to Arsenal Gunner. Oh, whoops, not that. This part. And we'll go to the Arcana Association room. Time to start the storyline for the Forbidden Alchemist. Yeah, I only have 31 crests. I need like 75 to go to the next rank for Arsenal Gunner. Promising Arcana candidates. I do like this new menu. Okay, Lauer should be over here somewhere. There he is. Search for a dropped herb in Corb Valley. It's a pretty small area. Shouldn't be too difficult to find. Oh, there's something over here. Wow, it's not very far in. Oh, we're looking for 3 of them. Anything down here? Oh, here's something. One more. Haven't found that last one yet. I don't think it's back here. So I either passed it or it's like somewhere along this path. Am I sure it's not down there somewhere? I don't see anything. Yeah, we must have passed it at some point. I'm gonna retrace my steps here. I wonder where I missed it at. Let's get this out of the way so I can see better. just so nothing's blocking the field of view. And we're gonna run down the Corb Valley one more time. I'm not seeing anything showing up. Well, all the way to the end here. Weird. Go up here again. Am I sure it's not over here somewhere? In a little corner. And it's not down there. Okay. I can't autopath to it. Let's see if it turns up in like an NPC search or something. No? Yeah, I don't know where that last one is. I'm gonna check on the water again, because like that's the only area I haven't had a really thorough look at. We can't go any further. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. We're missing one spot in the Corb Valley. Let's go as far back there as we can, just to make sure it's not actually back there. Yeah, I don't think it is. Okay, this time I'm gonna move a little bit faster on the Nimbus. Maybe I missed it way back. Yeah, that's what it was. It was near the start. I came in here, and I thought the one over here was the first one. So I figured the other two must be further back. Wow, it was hiding at the very start of this area. That's funny. So she attacked me with sand. Use her alchemy crystal. So that goes to your me inventory if you have the space for it. Is this just the Tara alchemy shop with like this added in? I think it is. Wait, can I still go up the stairs? Yep, I can still go up the stairs. I can't really zoom out or see anything that's up there. Elemental compounding empowers a Forbidden Alchemist's skills. Select one of the 4 Forbidden Alchemist skills and create your own recipe. Okay. I like the art style they use to make all this. Each recipe for each skill can have up to 4 alchemical elements. Skills will be enhanced based on the elements assigned. You can choose to use the same element multiple times in a recipe. Doing so will increase the crystal cost. Okay. Try registering an herb to one of the recipes. So, yeah, from what I've heard, this is a very... This talent requires, like, a lot of herbs. I wonder if herb inflation is up in the market. So what's my inventory look like? Why do we have a bubble blower? So let's add 2 and save. Oh, wait a minute. Use F2. Oh, and you can have like 4 different builds here. That's cool. Okay, we need to save a formula first. You can choose if you want that to be the default formula or not. Let's try just using... Wait, use earth crystals. So this one's earth. Okay, there, we'll try that. Something simple. Oh, this sort of just goes over everything that we just went over. Using... So maybe I should just add more earth crystals then, like that. Maybe it wants me to use all of them. But what do we click on here? Well, it says use it on yourself. Can't use that on myself. Do we have any herbs? I don't think we do. So I don't think I can put any on there. So we've applied the earth crystals. So this is supposed to increase my defense and magic defense. Let's look at this guide again. Let's try that combination, 2 fire, earth, and water. Could try that. So let's try fire. Earth and water. We can try 2 earth like that, save. Let's see what that does. And we still can't use it on ourselves. Oh wait, there we go. So, wait a minute. We're supposed to be clicking on the ground here. I get it. There. Got that figured out. Okay, use elemental compounding to create a formula that includes a base herb. So we'll save that. But we got to work earlier. How many base herbs do we have? Oh, we have a lot of herbs. Maybe it wants me to use 2 herbs, so let's pick something else. And save that too. We got it to work a second ago. Applies the effect formula created through elemental compounding to allies and enemies within a 10-meter radius for 300 seconds. Generates alchemic energy for all 4 elements in proportion to the alchemy crystal consumption. Okay. Wait, so maybe the crystals is the... Oh, we have tons of those. Let's try adding all 4 elements. We had it right that one time. Let's try taking everything off and then re-adding it like this. And then I wanted us to apply a base herb. So use elemental compounding with F1 to create a formula that includes a base herb, which we've done. We have the base herb selected. Then use the compound on yourself. Okay. And really quick, I'll be right back. I'm gonna check the wiki and see if there's any more information on this. Okay, so we have the Forbidden Alchemist page up here. And there's nothing on that page yet. Okay. This is still in development, which makes sense. It's only been out for like a week. So this won't be of much help. Do we have anything else equipped? No? What about this book? Did I read that? No? Wait, let's try actually making more than one. Because we can have more than one. So for this one, let's make it mostly wind and mostly earth. And then we'll use a base herb to save that. And let's make this the default one, because you can pick which one you want to be the default. And then here we'll try making this fire. And save that. We'll make 4. Let's make this one all water. There. Now we have a couple different formulas. But we can't use any of these. Well, X canceled it. Yeah, we have the base herb in it, but it doesn't want to... You can only put one of each herb in it. We have an herb, we have a base herb in each formula. So I don't get why elemental... Wait, what about... Oh, maybe we have to use this. We got a couple of different options here, but we have it set on the right one. Click the elemental orb and herb icons, categorized according to the 4 classical elements: water, fire, wind, earth, to customize the skill's function. The elemental orb effect applied to each skill is unique, while herbs serve to further amplify the effects of the element. Okay. So if that's not working, then let's try... Well, this we have like one of everything. Let's try an all earth build. Just like that. We'll save that. We'll make this one the default. It says one that includes a base herb, which we have, but let's try adding another herb. Wait, why is that little Q icon there? Is that because I... Hang on, if I take off an herb and save it... No, it's still there. Okay. Alright, we're gonna try doing it this way. Oh, now it's working. Wait a minute. Hang on a second, I want to try something. Okay, so it's very specific about where you click, is all. Okay, so Lower is somewhere down here. Oh, so this is her house? Doesn't that other crazy alchemist that's in like Gen 23 or 24 or whatever live like right there? Seems like all the crazy alchemists or the talented ones live in this end of town. So let's try something with those as the default formula. Oh wait, and this is the chemical carnival? So... Okay, let's do this. All 4 elements, 2 herbs, save. Formula is not registered. What did we do wrong here? Okay. There. So, Fangs of Stone. We have to make one for that next. So maybe we want Earth to mobilize them. And let's use a base and a mandrake. And we'll set this one to the default for this skill. Yeah, so this one involves a lot of planning then. Serpent Call. Let's use all 4 elements for this one. And those 2 herbs, and we'll make that the default, save it, and... Oh, whoops, wrong skill. That one. So yeah, this arcana involves like a lot of planning and a lot of herbs. Okay, looks like that's all the story that you need to do for that character for now. To get into the Forbidden Alchemist Arcana, but there's probably more story. Let's activate that just for a second here. See what skills we actually have available. So just one. And we can unlock these other ones later. So level 2, level 3, level 8, level 4, level 4. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm not really going to focus on this Arcana yet, not until I finish out the Arsenal Gunner, until I finish leveling the Arsenal Gunner. Because I'm level 40 in that, and I want to get to level 50. So we'll switch back to that for now. Kind of surprising Lower doesn't believe in ghosts. I mean, there's tons of ghost monsters in the game, like all sorts of different types. And I can't rebirth for about a day, so... So we'll probably level up the Arcana on Thursday's stream a bunch. So tomorrow might be very casual. But for now, I think that's good enough, so we'll wrap up the stream here and play Mabinogi tomorrow. Maybe I'll work on Stardust or something if I can't rebirth right away.